Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Timera Show. I hope you are super excited about today. Today is Monday, Boss Rise Up. So if you're an entrepreneur, we want to salute you. Go ahead and put the name of your business in the chat. Go ahead and let us know what company you're representing. Let us know your website as well, because you never know who's looking for you. All right, you guys, I am Timera Bell, and I'm so excited about our guest on today. You all make sure you share the video, tag for DM5, because this information provided today is going to be beneficial and it's going to be helpful for you, your team, your audience, your family. So you want to make sure you share the video. So you guys, I want you to give it up, heart it up in the chat for Mrs. Edith Edwards. All right, you guys, come on, come on, come on. I want you to go ahead and heart it up, heart it up. Show us some love. Show us some love. So Miss Edith, if you could just start by letting the audience know a little bit about you.
Good evening, everybody. My name again is Edith Edwards. I'm so excited about being a part of this affair here. I come all the way from Miami, Florida.
Woo,
all the way from Miami, Florida. So, well, what are you doing here in Warner Robins? Well, it was a good thing to come here. I've enjoyed being here for 15 years. I'm married. I have 3 children, adult children, and 2 grandchildren, and I'm well-rounded.
Come on.
I've been an entrepreneur for my entire adult life, and only a trucking company for several years, and helping and mentoring children. I'm just one of those people that love people, and as a result of me loving people, God has led me into the insurance business, and I'm excited about talking about insurance. I'm excited about talking about final expenses. You know, I was sitting in my office today, and I realized that there were too many GoFundMes.
Oh, wow.
Everybody had GoFundMe. I told my husband, I said, I got to get out here and tell the community that you don't have to have GoFundMes. You can prepare yourself, because everybody's going to die.
Right.
There are 2 things in this world that's going to happen. We're going to be born, and we're going to die. I can assure you that.
Right.
I can assure you that. But the good thing about it is that you don't have to have your family be stressed out when you die. Right. There's a way that you can put some money aside so that when the Lord calls you on home, you're prepared. And that's the most responsible thing a believer in Jesus Christ can do. So I want to make sure that I talk to all people and tell them there's a way to prepare for your homegoing. So that kind of explains who I am. I love people. That's just it. I love people.
Oh, I can definitely tell you're a people's person. But even in the information you just shared, that is so important. So I want to ask you a question. What actually got you into the insurance industry?
My husband and I own a trucking business, and I've always been an entrepreneur. And my hands started bothering me, and my daughter said, Mom, why don't you think about insurance? Because I've always been in sales. I have a marketing degree. And I said, well, I never thought about insurance. She said, yeah, you can do insurance. You're a salesperson, and you like to talk to people. That's what it's all about. So I got into it, and it's been rewarding. It's been 3 years, and it's been one of the most rewarding careers that I've had. Yeah, and I got into it. I went into trucking at 42. So most people say, how could you change a career at 42? You can do anything you want to do.
Come on.
Anything that you want to do, and you have a determination and a drive, God will give you everything you need to do it. So now in our lives, we're finding out, as with a God, that we can do a whole lot.
Right.
That we can be productive.
Right.
That we can be, they say, don't say aggressive, but I say aggressive is a good word. It's a good word. We like to say women are assertive and men are aggressive. No, I like to think I'm aggressive. And I like to win.
Come on.
I like to win. And I think if you decide in your mind you're going to win, then guess what? You're going to win. Because you made it up in your mind that that's what you're going to do. And God will give you the tools that you need in order to win. So as a result of going into the insurance business, I've always won. And I believe in winning. because I believe in telling people about something that's going to change their life.
Right.
So I make a point of doing that wherever I go. I try not to talk too much, but I get excited when I'm talking about winning. I get excited when I'm talking about you don't have to settle for less.
Right. Come on. Come on.
You don't have to settle for less, especially if you are a child of God,
Yes.
because God wants the best for us. So anybody out there who's sitting who is not sure of what their purpose is, don't settle. Sit and think about what you're good at. And when you analyze what you're good at, you'll find that God has already prepared room for you. He's prepared the room. He's prepared the avenue for you to do that which He's called you to do. That's your purpose. Mm-hmm. If you like people, He'll set you up to talk to people, communicate with people. If you like to be a service, He'll set you up to go into hospitals and nurse people. If you find yourself that you are a recluse, He'll find something for you to do at home, in your room.
Right.
There's so many things we can do with our different personalities. You just have to figure out what is it for you to do.
I like that because as entrepreneurs tune in, I think a lot of times people go into entrepreneurship, right? And they don't actually understand the process that comes with it. And sometimes it can get discouraging. Sometimes you feel like giving up, but you're talking about winning. And one of the things that you said was you always won. Like that's you're aggressive in that area. And so what I'm getting from it is if you really want to win in entrepreneurship, aggressiveness is actually something that needs to be mandatory.
It's a positive aspect. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not positive. See, people will tell you, you did a little too much. You try to create too much. What you do then is tune them out.
Tune out.
Tune them out. I don't hear you. It's a lot of chatter. It's a lot of talking, but I don't hear you because God has said that I can do it. Those things that seem almost impossible are possible.
Right.
You just have to persevere. You have to be determined that you are going to be the person to make it be. And if you set in your mind that you're going to be the person to make it be. See, because I went into trucking at 42. I was sitting in my office as an outreach counselor in Miami. And my husband was a trucker and he was having more fun than I was. And I said, life should not be about these four walls. God has more for me.
Right.
So when I went to trucking school in Little Rock, Arkansas, because they said I can't go in Miami because there's no mountains there. So I went to Little Rock, Arkansas in trucking school. And I stayed there for about 5 weeks in a hotel. And I was 42. I was older than everybody in my class.
Wow.
But I was determined to do this.
Mm.
And I told my husband, well, this right here is this harder than getting your bachelor's. I told him, it's harder than getting your bachelor's. But I knew that God had something for me in it. I knew it was something. And so I persevered. And I trucked with my husband over the country in every state that we lived for 15 years. As I traveled through the country, I was able to see and experience God in a great way. I told a lady the other day, one of the best experiences I had was standing in North Dakota on a mountain, seeing a buffalo at the top. That's an experience in God. Because see, we think of God as this little person, this little thing. But God is a great thing. He owns the whole world. So we have to define Him in that instance, in that essence, in that definition. That He's not this small God sitting in our little area.
Right.
He is all over the world. So when you do things like go on the top of the mountain, travel all the different places, go to some countries.
Right.
You will see that God is everywhere. He's not just in America. He's all over the entire world. Travel 2,500, go to Hawaii and experience people look different to you, but God is there.
Right.
See, a lot of times we say God is in this little bubble and I have to operate in this little religious bubble. Get out of religion.
Right.
Religion will kill you. But understanding that you have a relationship with Almighty Jesus Christ will cause you to have an imagination that you can get beyond where your mama went, where your dad went, where your brothers and your sisters. Be extraordinary. Don't be normal.
Right.
Don't be normal. It's not good to be normal because then you limit yourself. You say, well, I'm doing good. No, be extra normal, extraordinary, because God wants more for you.
Right.
He's designed to have more for you. Walk in it. Walk in it.
Walk in it. Did y'all
Walk
get
in.
that?
Walk
Walk in it. If
Walk
you
in.
feel like you're walk in it.
Walk in it.
God is not giving it to you for no reason. Walk in it. Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So let's get to the insurance part. What are some things that you could tell some people that's tuning in when it comes to insurance? Because sometimes that's a subject that people back away from.
Yes. Yes.
They back away from it.
Yes.
But it's not a want, it's a need.
It's a need. It's a need.
Yeah.
People back away from it. I had one lady tell me, she said, it's so morbid. I want to talk about it. I said, but we have to talk about it.
Right.
Because you don't want to leave a legacy that you died and then people had to come up with money for your burial.
Right.
You don't want to leave that. You want to make sure that at least you're able to provide so that nobody has to come up with money to put you in the ground or cremate you. It's your choice. I don't have a hand in that. It's
Right.
your choice. It's your decision what you want to do. And with Lincoln Heritage, which I represent, it allows you to write down everything you want. It goes to our office and your family member has it. So that means that when you die, they dial that number and they start working for you. Mm-hmm. So if I go on to be with the Lord today, my husband can dial a number and they can start honoring all my wishes, and that will leave him to be restless. And then they can call him and say, Mr. Edwards, this is what we have in place. We've contacted Richardson, we've contacted Nelson, and this is what we've negotiated for you. So that frees him up from thinking about what he's going to do, because he's already accepted his wife is gone.
Right.
And someone's husband is gone. And so you want to make sure that these things are done. And that's why I represent Lincoln Heritage. I believe in it. And I believe in the fact that it's important for you. And I'm not saying, a lot of people say I got $100,000 policy. It's a term. Most cases it's a term. Most people are not going to get a whole life $100,000 policy. Right. And when they get the term, they get it at a young age. I'm an advocate for whole life. The reason for that is because if you get a term for 30 years and you're 30 years old now, you're going to turn 60.
Right.
And when you turn 60, now what do you want to do? All the money you invested in that term is gone.
Right.
But if you get a whole life, now you're creating an investment for you and your family. Because if you wanted to borrow against it, to go down on a house, you can. If you wanted to use it because now you have a terminal illness and you need some of it, you can. And it's going to stay the same price throughout the years. The same price. But term is going to increase. I looked at a policy with someone the other day, and I explained to them that it was very small. I said, but look, in 17 years, when you're 60-something years old, it's going to go up to $150. Because we as believers, we don't read the fine print.
Right. Come on.
We don't read the fine print. The man or the woman tells us, oh, this is going to be good.
Let me just sign.
Let me just sign. Let me just sign. And you're not reading the fine print to see that this policy this premium is going to go up when you turn 67.
Right.
It's gonna go so high. Now you're on a fixed income. How you gonna afford this? You're on fixed income. You can't afford it. And every year it's going to go up.
Hmm.
So I said, don't do that to yourself. If you're young, or if you're 40, if you're 50, get your whole life so it's the same price. It's gonna stay the same, no matter what. You turn 80, it's the same price. You turn 90, it's the same price.
Hmm.
So now when you retire, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So I advocate whole life. I advocate.
Oh wow! Did y'all get that information? That was so valuable.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times the thing people don't want to talk about is death. And my husband in the funeral industry, we own Golden Gates Burial and Cremation in Eastman. He deals with that on a regular,
Yes.
where he'll get a call, a death call,
Yes.
and the biggest problem is the family has to come up with the money. And I think a lot of times people don't understand how the funeral industry works. And even though my husband's a pastor, I think people look at that part, the pastor part,
Yes.
like, okay, you still can do it, not realizing that it costs money to do everything. To put that person in the ground, it costs money. To do the funeral service, it costs money. All of it costs money.
Yes.
And one of the things about the funeral industry is, depending on the insurance company, if they're known for paying out, they'll go ahead and say, okay, you got this policy, we're going to go ahead and start the process. But when you don't have a policy,
Yes.
it's like, okay, we need the money. We got to see the money, because what you're asking them to do is pay for the expenses of your loved one. And you have to understand that that is important to have in place.
Yes.
It's almost like when you have a baby. When you have a baby, what do? You make sure you have a baby shower. You have all these things. Family comes together
Yes.
to make sure you have the diapers and you have all these
Yes.
things. But when it comes to the death end, nobody wants to come together to make sure mom is properly insured, dad is properly insured. But we have to make sure those things are in place, because those things are important. Either one of the things I used to tell people is this. Okay, I think a lot of people are angry because they're still mourning. Can you imagine somebody passing away that you love, and you don't have to go back to work because things were properly done, and you can actually mourn correctly?
Yes.
And so, what are some things that you would tell someone who's like, y'all just trying to sell me something?
I would tell them that, especially if you're a husband and wife, that when one of you all go on to be with the Lord, 50% of your income is gone.
Come on.
50% of your income is gone. That means the lifestyle that you normally would have, you have no more. So not only are you mourning the death of your spouse, but you're trying to figure out how to pay that mortgage next month.
Right.
So you need to make sure that as you mourn, you don't have to have a whole lot so that you're wishing the man dead or you wishing the woman dead. That happens too. You're worth more dead to me than alive. You don't want that.
Right.
You don't want that. You want to make sure that you're able to sustain yourself for 6 or 7 months so that you can grieve, but you can figure it out.
Right.
I tell people, just be still in the beginning. You gotta be still. Because the worst thing is you make the wrong mistake.
Right.
You make the wrong mistake. Now, you said, you all have a funeral home. Lincoln Heritage pays out 24 hours. Within 24 hours, Lincoln Heritage is going to pay that policy. They're going to advance that money. So you're not going to be sitting worrying about the money, because by law, they got 90 days and they'll hold it up.
Yeah.
A lot of companies will hold that money, but Lincoln Heritage will pay out that money in 24 hours. That's something they stand by. And then you can then rest assured you got your money.
Right.
You got your money to do what you need to do. But get a plan. Get a plan. Secure your family. Secure your loved ones. Secure your daughters, your sons. Secure everybody. Make sure that your pastor does not have to figure out how to help the family bury you. Do that to people. It's just not fair. It's not fair that they have to do that, because they're thinking of all the great things you did. But at the same time, you're saying, why mama didn't take care of this? Why sister didn't take care of this? And to you young people are dying all the time.
Yes, they are.
They're dying. A young lady was talking to her sister, and her sister decided to go to the store to pick up something. She never saw her sister again. She was 30 something years old, but she didn't think she was going to die. So she didn't think about having full burial space. She has 3 children. She's gone. So the family had to come up with money to bury a 30 something year old because we automatically think because we're young. But I tell young people, just put some dollars together.
Right.
Put some dollars, get your $10,000 policy. And even 20 something is gonna cost you $20. That's whole life. So that you can make sure if you go, okay, the funeral consumer guardian is gonna be there to make sure they reduce all the prices for you so the funeral home doesn't get everything. So now you got a couple of dollars when that baby go on to be with somebody. Now they got a couple of dollars to help with the baby.
Right.
What you gonna do with the baby? The babies need help. Protect your children.
Yes, I definitely agree. I tell people all the time, that's something that I make sure comes out faithfully every month. That is so important to me. That's more important than your nails done. That's more important than your hair done.
Yes.
Because to me, I look at it as an investment for my family when I'm gone.
Yes.
And investments are great.
Yes.
They're better than when you look at it from an investment standpoint, you no longer look at it from an expense standpoint.
Exactly. And that's how we have to look at it.
Right.
We have to look at it like that.
Yeah, and so what would you tell, and I love that you said kingdom people, we as kingdom people, we tend to not read the fine print. But what would you tell kingdom people who, they keep making excuses?
I want believers to understand that your life is going to be filled with transgressions. Your life is going to be filled with turmoil. I'm not negating any of that. But you must make up in your mind to make decisions that's going to make a difference for your life.
Come on.
And we make these decisions that do not make a difference for our lives. We do a whole lot of things that don't make a difference for our lives, that don't make a difference for our children's lives. But as believers in God, we must consciously make decisions that will make a difference for our lives, our brothers' lives, our sisters' lives, our children's lives. And what are those differences? It says, I will live good, I will work hard, but I will take care of those small things that we take care of.
Right.
Because see, so often we don't see the money. So we get frustrated because we don't see the money. All we see is that money coming out of our account.
Exactly.
And now 3 years, we see that money coming out of our account. But you have to say that's an investment.
Right.
You know, the things, it's how you look at it. When you work for a company, and I got to talk about the company because so many of your viewers have a 9 to 5. They get up in the morning, you go to work, you get off. When that boss, every enrollment, they come up and they tell you how much money you want to go in your 401k. How much money you want to do this. You religiously let them take your money.
Yep.
Taxes, you religiously let them take your money. You don't even think about it. We have to stop having 401 for dummies. We have to stop because We can't rely on the company to create the 401 for us.
Right.
We have to decide to make decisions, that conscious decisions that will help us if we leave that company. A lot of people won't leave their job because they think they can't make it.
Right.
So I'm talking to you entrepreneurs. Make up in your mind, if there's something you want to do, you're going to do it. See, there are decisions you have to make. I'm not telling you to leave your job.
Right.
But I'm saying if you're passionate about something, spend as much time on that you spend on your job. Spend as much time on that you're passionate about, that you know is going to work because God said it's going to work. So don't second guess God.
Right.
Don't pity patter with God. Don't act like God ain't real.
Right.
If He told you it, it's not a point of you don't see it. You're not gonna see it. That's when your faith comes in. You have to walk in it.
Right.
Believing that God said it and it's done. So you work on your job. But don't think that that's all you got.
Right.
It's not. It's not. Step out on faith and do some things that are extraordinary. When the time is right, God will let you know. Pull away. Because the job is going to take you but so far.
Right.
Your passion in entrepreneurship is going to take you here. Less frustration, but a determination and a drive to do better, to get it right, to make a difference in the community. Do you know what it would be like in our communities if we can employ all our people? Employ our people. Employ those people who are looking for a job. Because they'll listen to you more so than if they go and clock in somewhere else. They'll pay attention to what you have to say. Because they're looking and saying, I have an example.
Right. Exactly.
Young people want examples. They want examples. So we have to be those examples for the young people. We have to show them that life is big. And there's a lot of stuff to do.
Right.
My son said today he turned 39. My oldest child turned 39 today.
Oh, wow.
And I called him and I sang happy birthday to him. And I said, remember you were 25, you said life is over? He said, yeah, Mama, is that something? He said, well, Mama, life was over at 25. Life was over. I said, it was over. He said, yeah, because when you're 25, now you're a man, for sure. So you can't go under that kid thing.
Right.
25, you're a grown man. That means you gotta act like a grown man, you gotta make decisions like a grown man, you gotta be a grown man. He said, so when I turned 25, I knew, okay, it's it, it's up. Every bill I got to pay.
Wow.
I can't go to mom and daddy. So we have to get our young people and our young men where they understand and they see examples. And they, because women can't tell men what to do.
Right, you got that right.
Women can't tell men what to do.
Yeah.
Especially when they're 16, 17, 18, 19. We need other men to tell them what to do. Tell them how to be a man. So if we could get where we have that example. And we got it. We got it in our community all over. We just can't be afraid to tap into it.
Right.
We can't be afraid to tap into it. And that will allow our children to make better decisions.
Right. Oh, wow. So what would you tell, like, okay, so you say you've been in entrepreneurship basically all your life. What are some things that you may have done when the hurdles came, when trials came? What were some things that you did?
Trials and tribulations as an entrepreneur are going to come faster than a whirlwind. Woo. Be ready. Have thick skin. Because when you start, such as, you know, when people work on a job, they don't realize that when they get off that job, they become an entrepreneur, buck stops with them. See, they really don't realize that.
Yeah.
They're so used to going to work and everything. But then when you have just 3 people on your payroll and you can't make payroll.
Right.
Now you remember A lot of people think they're going to get rich when they become an entrepreneur. They don't understand the struggle. They don't understand
Right.
that you're going to have to pay everybody else and not pay yourself to keep your business going.
Right.
You're going to have to make decisions that are going to be uncomfortable for you. You're going to have to you're going to have to stay up late.
Right.
You're going to have to get 5 hours of sleep. It's not pretty.
Right.
Being an entrepreneur is not pretty. Don't let nobody fool you. It's a task. It's a choice. It's a decision. It's a time where you struggle. People think you're gonna get rich. And when you don't get rich, they quit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you notice, most entrepreneurs, when they start a business and it doesn't work in the first 3 to 5 years, they quit.
Right.
That's the process.
And you know, it's crazy to say that because even now, I think they quit before then.
Oh yeah. They quit in 6 months.
Yeah.
That didn't work. What do you mean it didn't work? You gave it 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Exactly.
No, I couldn't pay my bills. Welcome to the real world of entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
I didn't have no money in my account. Welcome to the real world of entrepreneurship. It's not based on what you see. It's based on what you don't see. It's based on what you believe.
Right.
And if you have enough faith to not only believe in yourself, but believe in the process. There's a process that's going to take place. I don't care if you have a jewelry business. Entrepreneurs, you have a jewelry business. Okay? You sell jewelry.
Right.
That's a process because I remember my sister and I owned a clothing store in Miami. And we were in our early 20s. And we were so excited about this clothing store. My mom had invested thousands of dollars in this clothing store. And we opened it and we were so excited because here we are 20-something. We're going to make a difference.
Right.
We didn't know that 0 days exist. We really know nothing about 0 days. We just thought to just make money.
Right.
And my mother came home. She worked for the telephone company. She came home. She came to the shop. And she walked in. And my sister and I said, Mama, we need X number of dollars. My mama looked at us and said, what? What? We said, yeah, we need X number of dollars. My mama said, what's going on? We had not calculated all the operating costs of keeping that business alive. Because we're young.
Right.
You don't know. If you are 20-something, do not be afraid to find a mentor,
Right.
somebody who can tell you. And don't say they don't know what they're talking about. They do know because they've been through it. So talk with them. Just sit and absorb what they have to say
Right.
because they've made the mistakes. So now they're going to tell you so you don't make the mistakes. But don't get so arrogant to think where they don't know what they're talking about. Yes, they do know what they're talking about because they've been through it. And just as sure, a few years gonna come, and so that's what that man was talking about. But now I see it. I couldn't make payroll last month. I couldn't make payroll, and I didn't know what to do. So then I went and did this, and whatever you did was the wrong thing to do.
Right.
See, it looked like the right thing to do,
Right.
but it wasn't the right thing to do. You didn't need to sell that,
Right.
but you did.
Come on.
You didn't need to give that away, but you did. You gave your receivables away. Sold your receivables. And somebody older said, no, don't sell your receivables. Do this. But if you don't talk to people who have been in business, how you gonna learn? How
Right.
you gonna know? Entrepreneurship is not easy, and a lot of times it's not fun. But
It's worth it.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
But
it's
there are
definitely worth
rewards. It's worth it. It's so worth it because you can make a difference.
it. Right.
And when you can make a difference, it's always worth it. Not only can you make a difference, the sky is the limit.
Right.
See, the sky is the limit. When the church needs something, now you can give it.
Right.
When the community needs something, now you can do it. They always go to businesses because we're the ones that are making the difference.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, don't be afraid of the process. Don't be afraid to start a business. Don't be afraid.
So what would you tell married entrepreneurs?
Good question. My husband and I have been in business pretty much our whole 30 years together. Trucking business together. We were together 24/7 because we ran as a team.
Right.
So we were always together. We're just always together in business. You have to pray. You have to pray because you're taking two people with differences and you're trying to create an empire.
Come on.
You're not trying to create a little something. You're trying to create an empire with your best friend, with your partner. So you have to pray. You have to pray separately. You have to pray together so that you all will be able to understand each other. Because the worst thing is for you to get in it and don't understand each other.
Right.
Because your husband's going to think one way, you're going to think one way, and sometimes y'all going to think the same way. You have to be able to compromise. And women, stop telling your husband he dumb. Stop telling your husband he don't know what he's talking about. Stop telling your husband that you know more than him. Stop.
Come on.
Stop. Stop telling your husband that you're the power behind this business. Stop. Stop telling your husband that without you, this business will be nothing. Stop. Men have egos.
Right. They do.
Men need to be stroked. See, women don't have to be stroked.
Right.
We can build our own self up. God just made us.
Right.
God just made us. We just we just do it.
Right.
Men have to be stroked. Men have to be carefully covered. Men have to be carefully saying they can do it.
Right.
So you have to get behind your man, even when you know he might fail. But you say, even when you know he might fail. But you're saying you can do it, baby.
Yeah,
You could do it. You got this. So that then your business won't suffer.
Right. That's good.
Your business won't suffer because you are making him a king.
Right.
You're making him stronger than he can imagine. Because some days when things are going very bad, he's going to feel bad because he knows he needs to be the breadwinner.
Right.
But it's going crazy. So he needs you to say, look at you. You have to be on the same team.
Right.
If you're in business with your husband, you have to be on the same team. And some days, y'all gonna have to sit down and say, what team are we on? We're on the same team. So, what do you think, honey? Let's speak first. Stop talking. It's lies. And I'm not saying that men are no more,
Right.
do more. I'm saying that you want to win.
Right.
I'm saying that you want to win. Sisters, you want to win. So you want to win in a certain way so that your husband will feel like he can do everything that he should do in order to win.
Right.
And we can do that as business owners together. It ain't nothing we can do. We can do everything.
Right.
We can do everything.
That's
Because
good.
you got your partner right there, walking with you, going with you, making way. When Satan come in and try and create a diversion, get out of here.
Exactly. Oh, that's
You got to speak to Satan sometime.
yeah.
Because Satan will come in now. Don't think it's gonna be easy. Because Satan will come in and he'll create a diversion.
Right.
And when Satan come in and create a diversion, you as a believer, and the atmosphere of your home, you have to tell Satan, get out.
Right.
Ain't no room in here for you. Get out. And you speak to him. And he got to flee. He got to go. Ain't no room. I don't know.
That was really good. Oh man, that was really good. So the last question before you let everyone know how to contact and reach you is, you said that you have children and you have children in the process of this. What are some advice that you can give parents that are in entrepreneurship on making sure that they're still in their children's life?
That's a good one. That's a good one because when you have little children, my children tell stories of when my sister and I had the store. They would all go to sleep. She had 3 and I had 3, and they would go to sleep in the store. They would be under the clothes rack, sleep. When we went and set up at different conferences and conventions, they would be asleep. My daughter tells a story that I would tell her, okay, I need you to sell $100 worth of stuff when we were set up at a table. I'm going to get y'all lunch. Sell 100. She said, Mama, I was 10. She said I was 10, and you were telling me to do this. As entrepreneurs, we must train our children to be entrepreneurs. We must train our children to learn how to do those things that we know how to do. So I say to entrepreneurs, don't let your children just go to school, put them in a corner. You have to make them be a part of your business. Nice. I don't care what it is, down to I say jewelry, but I say whatever you're doing, put them in there. They're 8, 9. They know how to file. They know how to do some of them things. Put them in there. Don't just sit Johnny over there and say, Johnny, get that book and do it. No, let Johnny be a part of it. So Johnny will know. When my mom was sold jewelry, my sister did the books, and we were only about 10 and 11. And I would go with Mama and help her with the jewelry, selling the jewelry. Whatever you're doing. So by the time I got of age, I knew how to sell because she had told me how to sell. And you want to make sure that children are a total party to entrepreneurship because you're going to be out late some days. They have to understand that mommy's working, daddy's working. They love you, but they're working. And you children are resilient. They understand. They understand. When you take them with you and they see what you're doing, they say, okay, yeah, okay. So when they get to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, now they're 18. Now they're 18. And they say, I know when I went in the truck with my daughter was some senior high school, and I took her to a school because I wanted her to understand what I was trying to do. The rest were in college and gone. So I took her to a school, and I had the man explain to her what the difference is in me being in the classroom and being a trucker. So when we met, she said, Mom, I understand that. Wow, I understand. So just explain to them, because their friends' parents are going to work, coming home, and but if you explain to them, they'll understand, and you'll still be able to get to their baseball games. And I got to my son's baseball games and all that. You'll be able to you won't get to everything, but you'll be able to maneuver your schedule so that you can be inclusive in the things that you're doing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Yeah.
Wow. You guys, I want you to give it up for Mrs. Edith Edwards, you guys. So if you can just let them know how to contact you and reach you if they're in need of insurance and things of that nature.
Edith Edwards, my telephone number, I'm from Miami and I kept that number, is 305-984-4741. And you can also, you got all these different ways now. So I'm catching on. I'm catching on. I'm still old school. But my email is Edith Edwards, LNHeritage.com. That's Edith Edwards, LN Heritage, HERITAGE.com. And you can leave me an email and I'll be glad to help you. But I'm a call person. Call me. 305-984-4741. And I answer your questions. And hopefully I'll be able to help you.
Awesome. Okay, so I want you to heart up in the chat again. Give it up for Mrs. Edith Edwards. You guys, make sure you contact her if you're in need of insurance and things of that nature. You want to learn more information about it for the sake of your family. You want to make sure you reach out to Mrs. Edith Edwards so that she can help you and your family be properly covered in the sake of you losing someone. All right, you guys. One of the things the pandemic taught us was you don't know the time. I'm just being real. A lot of people lost their loved ones during the pandemic. And so you want to make sure that you got everything in place for your loved ones. You say you love them, right? So do this for them so that they don't have to mourn and try to figure out how to make sure you're properly buried, you guys. Let's get away with the GoFundMes. We don't want to do that. So you guys, this is the Timera Bell Show with Boss Rise Up Monday. You all, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you share the video, tag 4 and DM5. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Bye.